Hello, I'm Fiona Orford-Williams. I'm a director at Edison Group and I look after the media sector. With me today, I've got Chris Lee, who is the chief exec of the Pebble Group. Hello, Chris. Nice to see you.
Yeah, hi Fiona, how are you?
Very well. So let's find out a bit more about the Pebble Group. First of all, promotional products. What are they, and how big is the market?
Well, promotional products are probably used by every company in the world, to explain their brand, to put across an engagement with their employees or their customers. And so probably all of us have promotional products in the boot of our car, on our desk, or somewhere at home. So basically, it's a product that carries a company's brand to help that brand engage with its stakeholders.
And how big is the market?
Well, it's much bigger than you might imagine. So the US are very good at kind of measuring the statistics, and in that US market alone, it's around about $25 billion worth of promotional products are sold every year, and we extrapolate that out globally, and we think there's around about $50 billion of promotional products sold each year.
Okay, and you've got two businesses addressing different aspects of this market. Do you just want to briefly introduce them and explain why they're different?
Yeah, so Pebble Group is our brand as far as AIM is concerned and our listing. But our two operations, the businesses that kind of really make kind of Pebble Group work, is Brand Addition and Facilisgroup. And so Brand Addition is a business that kind of my heart is in. I've been part of it for 20 years. And that sells promotional products to the biggest companies in the world. So really large companies, again, want to engage with their stakeholders, albeit their customers, potential customers, or even their employees. And in doing that, they kind of want to give products with their brand on. And so those businesses outsource their need for promotional products in order to have really good products. And also, and as importantly, where does that product come from? Whose hands is that product made in? And kind of what materials is that's made of? That's really important. So Brand Addition exclusively sells promotional merchandise under contract to really large corporates who want to engage with their stakeholders.
And Facilisgroup? What do they do?
Yes, Facilisgroup quite different. And so Facilisgroup, if you think of, is only based in North America right now, where Brand Addition is global. So Facilisgroup is a platform, a SaaS platform that helps small entrepreneurial distributors of promotional products, so like mini Brand Additions, sell across, sell efficiently and professionally across North America. So Facilisgroup has its platform does in terms of product search, it does a CRM and then an order workflow that helps those businesses professionalize and grow in North America.
And how does the commercial model work for each of the businesses?
Well, quite different, really. So as a group, as Pebble Group, around about 85% of our revenues come through Brand Addition. But then when we get onto profitability, it splits around 50-50, which shows that they're really quite different business models. And so Brand Addition gets paid on its product. So every time it sells a product through an order to one of its large customers, it invoices for that, has a gross margin within that cost from which we pay our teams, our offices, and then take the profit out of that. So Brand Addition, if you sell 100, around about 70 goes onto product, 20 goes into the people, and then 10 comes out at the bottom. And Facilis is quite different. A SaaS platform. So basically, a lot of that is subscription based, and so Facilisgroup charges a subscription that we kind of have great visibility for going forward. We're not having any involvement in the buying and selling of products there whatsoever. But subscription means there's no cost of sale comes off, but really efficiently that goes through to profitability around about 50%. And hence we have that kind of difference. So 100 in Facilisgroup comes out at 50, 100 in Brand Addition comes out about 10 to us.
And you've been developing some new products on the Facilisgroup side. Do you want to tell us a bit about those?
Yeah, very much so. So we've got a great sort of platform that we've built the business on today called Syncore, and that's pointed at the businesses that are really developing in the promotional products market in the US. The average size of that business is around $7.5 million. And we're looking to bring two new products to market. One is, as well as helping them have an efficient back office, we're going to try and help them sell. And so think what Shopify might do. We're looking to launch a product called Commercio, which kind of helps our businesses sell to their customers through that, and that's Commercio. And then also there's a really fragmented tail of very small businesses selling promotional products in the US market. And we're bringing out a small version of our Syncore product to those businesses. And the wrap of those three products, we're hoping takes us from 20 million revenues at the moment. We'd like to kind of get through 30, 40 to 50 million of revenues in the next 2 or 3 years.
So you recently reported your FY22 results. Do you want to take us through what the performance was like for each of the businesses?
Yeah, so overall, again, sort of very nice performance in terms of total revenue growth is around about 15%. The margins came out exactly as I've described on Facilis and on Brand Addition. And so sort of 15% EBITDA, 15% revenue growth came through is about the same number in terms of EBITDA. Strong balance sheet we have as well. So in terms of cash, we have around about 50 million of cash on the balance sheet at the end of the year, and that's slightly ahead of expectations on all of those metrics. So I think fairly well received in terms of the market, just ahead of expectations, and long may that continue.
No, you mentioned you've got a very strong balance sheet. Can you just describe for us how your capital allocation priorities lie?
Yeah, and we have we've got some materials on our website that we try and kind of explain as clearly as we can about our businesses, our strategy, and look into the future. And in there we have, for the first time, put a use of capital slide in there. And one thing's for sure, we like sitting on cash. I think kind of having an element of cash is a good thing. And so we have 15 million, and I think keeping that on our balance sheet is a good thing in the shorter term. But we've got two very cash generative businesses. Brand Addition needs a little bit for working capital as it grows, and that happens. Facilis doesn't. But we are taking some of the cash we generate and investing into those new products that we talked about on Facilisgroup. So, I think in the last 2 or 3 years, we've probably spent about 10 million in terms of into those new products. And we're doing that, knowing that's a lot of money, knowing that actually kind of if what we want to happen comes out the other side, it's going to be very well invested. But still, we kind of, we understand the responsibility of investing that money back into the business is to grow us and take us forward. And then after then, we kind of we've now for the first time put a dividend in place. I think we feel very comfortable managing our cash. We've got 2 very good businesses for that. And so as well as growing our own business, we do believe actually giving a bit back to shareholders now is the right thing after 3 years of listing. And so we'll be looking to put that in place now, and we'll be growing that hopefully in the future.
And with your last year's results, you gave an outlook statement that said that this current year had started well. What should we be looking out for as the year progresses?
And so, I think the investor and finance community is kind of very sensitive right now. I think gone through a lot in the last 12 months. I think banking and kind of potential recession is very much on its mind. And it's a question we've been asked a lot by our investors in terms of where it is. In terms of our activity on the ground and the orders we're receiving through Facilis and Brand Addition right now is very much in line with our expectations, and in terms of a growth for the next 12 months. That's a little bit different mix on Brand Addition. Some of the more traditional industries around engineering and transport are probably doing a little bit better than perhaps technology. But the good thing about Brand Addition, it has that sector mix, and taking that sector mix, I think we're still looking for another year of growth for both businesses.
That all sounds very promising. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thanks, Fiona. Great to see you.